She called him a and I'm gonna need you guys to leave Huda alone because some of you have clearly never watched Love Island and it shows. Hold on, my daughter wants bubbles. I'm a mommy. And I understand why Huda would crash out because having a child will do that to you. If your only experience with watching Love Island was the last season of the USA Love Island, then I'm sorry to break it to you, but I still don't really care that much about your opinion. Because anybody who watches Love Island and who keeps up with the Love Island franchise knows that the USA Love Island is inferior to the remaining Love Islands. Because let's be real, if you don't know anything about snogging or having a little cuddle or pulling someone for a chat, then you're mad for giving your opinion on Love Island. And we're gonna get to Huda, just let me say this, okay? Don't get me wrong, the last season of the USA Love Island was really good. I even tuned in. As somebody who never watches USA Love Island, I tuned in last season. But why did I tune in? Why did any of you tune in? You know why? Because of the PPG crash outs. Because if Leah, Janae, and Serena and Kaylor hadn't lost their shit, hadn't screamed, thrown shit, called guys out of their names, and had full-on crash outs, none of you would have even tuned in. So the irony in all of this is the same reason why you made previous cast members iconic and famous and why they literally went on to win the show are the same reasons you're now calling Huda unstable for. Sorry. So let's now get into the whole narrative about her being unstable and crashing out. First of all, I think that is so far-fetched because actually her feelings are very valid considering Jeremiah's behaviors. That guy literally let her carry the relationship from day one. He didn't actually put in any effort. He loved the attention that he was getting without having to actually do anything. And as soon as she kind of started to catch on that he wasn't really putting in that effort, he started to gaslight the hell out of her and make it seem like she was overbearing and she was doing too much and that, you know, he wasn't really being himself on the show and he was finally breaking out of his shell during the challenges. Please. Nobody was keeping you from being yourself. If you felt like she was overbearing, you could have did what Ace did with Amaya, right? He could have said, you need to slow down. I don't move that fast. I'm not closed off. But you didn't do that because you loved it. You loved the attention, Jeremiah. Okay, so let's say that's not your beef. Let's say you're like, okay, no, it's cool. Like, she's allowed to feel these things. But her behavior was out of pocket. The way she reacted, calling him out his name. She called him a bitch. And do you know how many Islanders have actually called other Islanders out of their name? Do you know how many girls on Love Island we've seen scream and throw things and lash out? Literally, that's one of Leah's most famous lines. Second, if you're not familiar with a woman being so damn territorial, then you've clearly never met Ekin-Su and Debbie Day because Ekin-Su, I mean, and that girl went on to get her own spinoff after Love Island because you know why? You guys love this shit. Okay, now as far as like her being closed off and territorial and whatever, getting like into that, if you watch Love Island and you keep up, you know that every season, literally every season, there's that couple that gets together from day one and sticks together the entire time, and it pisses off a lot of people, and a lot of people don't like it, and a lot of people want to stir up drama and break them up. The reality is, whenever somebody walks into the villa that is your type, that is your person, they click to that person and they do not let go. For some people like Huda and Jeremiah, it happens on day one. For other people, it happens on day 3. And I know to a lot of you, it seems bizarre, like you've known this guy for 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, 4 days, 24 hours together. Do you understand what it means? Every waking minute together. 1 day in the villa is like 1 week in the outside world. And you're lying if you're telling me that you don't know a girlfriend that has talked to a guy for 1 week and hasn't claimed him and started planning her wedding. Let's be real here, guys. I think one of the most annoying comments that I've heard on TikTok is how, oh, Huda's like taking up too much screen time. We don't get to hear about the other couples because they're boring. The girl is literally carrying the entire season. I like some of the cast members, but I'm so underwhelmed. As far as like the whole like her being mentally unstable and she's unwell and she needs to be removed off the show immediately because she woke up in the middle of the night. First of all, it wasn't the middle of the night. The narrator in the show literally said that the new couples were woken up at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. to go on a date. When they walked out of the villa, it was broad freaking daylight. Huda didn't wake up in the middle of the night crashing out. She woke up probably at like 6 or 7 a.m., didn't see them there, went up to Taylor and was like, they're gone. I would do that shit. I would walk right up to my friend and be like, bitch, wake up. These motherfuckers are gone. They took them on a damn date. That is not a mental breakdown. And then the entire recoupling situation. You guys literally voted to break them up on purpose to witness her crash out because you wanted a reaction from her. And then you're all like, what? When she gave you the exact reaction that you should have expected. Because again, if you watch Love Island, you know that anytime that a couple that is happy together gets broken up, especially by the viewers, it is a very dramatic thing, because it's like, well, wait a second, are you seeing something I'm not seeing? It like really forces you to reevaluate your entire relationship with that person by voting to break them up, especially when him and Iris literally had no chemistry and no connection. It was confusing as hell. And then the cast members kind of making it seem like it was her fault why Charlie went home. No hate to Hannah. I kind of like her, okay? You did that. If you're Middle Eastern and your take has been that like, honey, we don't chase, we don't do that. She never chased. She claimed the man from day one. He fed right into it. She really didn't chase him. In fact, when she noticed that he really wasn't putting in effort, she started to call him out on his shit. And then when he flipped on her and screwed her over, didn't check on her, didn't even check on her when she almost got eliminated, which anybody checks on anybody in the villa when they almost get eliminated. Nonetheless, the guy that you're in a couple with and the guy that you were supposedly in a happy couple with, that you've been coupled up with since day one and that is super into you, and that apparently it would take so much for him to turn his head, that man not checking up on you, of course that's going to drive you crazy. Okay, you can disagree with the way that she reacted, and I don't think she's unstable. I think she'll watch the episode and be like, oh my God, and probably never react like that again. But some of you making it seem like she needs to be hospitalized for it, like, please stop. We'll see what happens on tonight's episode, though.